and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to use the Print Pray Slay Spring Prayer Journal, and we're going to make a memory book with it. Or it can also be kind of like a little makeshift journal, but we're going to do some fun things with it, and we're only going to use the pages that came with the prayer journal, which by no means is a hardship, because we were given so many pages. Again, I did not print them all out, but I printed what I needed. The first thing I always do is go through the file on the computer to make sure I don't print more than I have to conserve my ink and to conserve my paper. So I knew what I was doing beforehand, so I printed some things on different types of paper, and this is how I went through it. So these elements I printed on clear sticker paper, but I need to go and cut those out. These are going to serve as the covers, and you all chose for me, and you chose this one, which I kind of knew you would. I like the blue, but for what I'm using it for, this actually works out better. So I put this on, as you can hear, it's a little bit thicker. This is on cardstock, and these will be the covers, and I need to cut those down. This again has been put on clear sticker paper because I needed these elements to be on clear paper. But I also printed this page on white sticker paper because I'm going to use these for something fun. And then I printed it on cardstock paper because I also needed these to be a little bit more sturdy. And you'll see why later. This page was meant to be just a page in the journal, but because I'm making the journal smaller than the way it was sold, which is on 8.5 by 11, but again, you can always resize things down. But because I'm using this cover to kind of be my size guide, I'm going to do half page size journal, memory book, junk journal. It could be whatever you want it to be. And this particular page I thought would make great boxes, so I put this on white sticker paper to cut out and use on the pages that I'm putting in the book. So it's going to be used as an element, additional decoration, and not a page. This is the same situation. I put this on white sticker paper because these items could be cut out and used in different ways. This particular page, I really like this page, but I can't use the whole page because of the way I want to lay the book out. But I thought of another way to use it. So we're going to cut this part off, and we're going to turn it sideways and use it that way. And this, I thought, was perfect because you could put a picture here, you could put collages here, you could draw here, and then put a scripture to go with it to make the book very personal. If you want to gift it to somebody, and that's what I'm doing, I'm gifting the book to someone, but they're probably watching this video, so I'm not going to tell them who they are. These pages were part of the plain journal sheets, but these will be great filler pages. So we're going to cut these down and use them as filler page, and I print them on my white paper that I personally prefer. It's a paper that is made by Hammermill, and it makes colors stand out even brighter. So I really like this paper. I like how smooth it is, and I like that it has good weight to it. This I printed out on regular white paper because I had an idea to turn it sideways and cut it down to make filler paper. This is going to be filler paper as well, so I cut it and put it on regular paper. And then this, I needed this for filler paper, not this because it's the cover, and this is on regular paper. Then these elements are going to be used in my planner, and I put them on clear paper because I don't like cutting out intricate designs on white paper. So clear paper is always the way to go for me with that. So if you stick around, I'm going to get to cutting, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, and we are back. I have cut out all of the pieces, and I actually ended up with some left over. I'll use it in my planner later or in my Bible. So this is the book put together. This is kind of what I had in mind. So let's just get into explaining how I made this. These rings I purchased from Office Depot, but you can get them from Staples or I believe any other office supply store. They're just regular rings, and they came in these really cool colors. I already had these because I used them on my Happy Planner sticker books to keep them together. I put them through the hole in the top, but I decided to use the pink ring on this book, although at first I thought I was going to use the green, but then I changed my mind. So pretty much all you do is just pull a little tension and pull, and they come apart, but then they can lock back together. So that's the great thing, and then they're secure once they do that. So it's almost like a key ring. You kind of have to twist it a little bit and then pull and then snap it back together. And like I said, I bought this with all different colors, but I believe they come in silver standard. I don't know if I've seen gold ones, but I'm sure they make them. And of course, I found these colored ones. Okay, the cover of this book, you all helped me pick the cover. I put up a poll on my Instagram a while back, and you all chose this cover. And because I wanted this to be kind of thick, you can tell this is very, very thick. I wanted it to be like a hardbound book cover. So I bought some of the board that you can buy from Micros, or I believe Joann's has it, and it's in the open stock scrapbooking paper, the 12 by 12 paper, and it's just a thick board, and I just cut it down. It took a couple of times on the trimmer to get it to cut it down, but I cut it down to the size of the cover I chose, and I glued it down with my regular Tombow runner, and I'll show you the Tombow runner. I use all 3 Tombow rollers. So this is the removable, so don't use that one, but this is the permanent one. And then also a note, you want the edges to be adhered completely all the way around. I don't like when things are not adhered to the very edge of the paper. So I have glue. This is multimedia matte glue, and it's in a little bottle with a quill tip on the end, so it's very skinny. And so sometimes when I finish a project, I'll run my fingers along the edges to see if any of the seams are not completely adhered, and I'll just stick this between the paper, and it'll get me a very clean smooth edge. So that's my little trick to doing paper crafting. And again, all of these supplies will be in a link below on my website. You can look at all of the things I use to do crafts with, and all of that will be listed under there. Okay, so the board. Also, if you order a lot of things for planners or for crafting, sometimes people put the boards in the packaging to kind of help keep your stickers from being bent. Save that, because I believe the board on the back was actually something I got out of a packaging. So this is when you can reuse this to make hardbound covers for your projects. So again, I cut all of that down, and then I adhered it to that board, and so you can see the board is very, very rigid. And then I had to put the holes in it. Now I will say this, the hole punch made me work for it. I used my handheld hole puncher, and if you have a cheap hole puncher, be careful with it, because the metal may bend on you. But this is my hole puncher. I kind of did bend it a little bit when I was trying to finish the back cover, so I probably will have to replace it. But I used a regular hole puncher to punch the holes in the paper and the board. Now, the papers on the inside all came from the Print Price Slay prayer journal, and I just cut it down to be the size of this paper. I didn't want to have to resize anything, so I just cut it down. I think this would almost be the size of half page, if you just want a half of a regular sheet of paper. And this page came from the prayer journal, and I turned it sideways, I believe. I think originally this page was printed this way. And then I just added some embellishments from some of the word art that she provided. She gave us so much in the prayer journal, so it's not like you have a shortage of things to choose from. So I added this blank page in there. This page was the back of the page. So when I printed the journal on 8.5 by 11 paper, I didn't do double-sided printing. I wanted to actually build some pages on my own. So anything that's in here, the back of it was originally white. So I just took some of the embellishments again like this and just added it. I actually could go back and add this on top if I wanted to, and then build another page. Now the purpose of this was to send to somebody for a birthday gift, since we've been quarantined, and I wanted her and her daughter to add pictures to it of their time that they spent being inside, different things they did throughout the day, and then write memories for the day. But if you want to use this to make your own personal journal, and you just want to make it a little bit more crafty, you could do that. You could also use this for a junk journal. You could use it as a scrapbook. It could be a regular journal. It could be whatever you really want it to be, however you want to purpose it. This page right here was part of the scripture and prayer page. It originally, again, was 8.5 by 11. What I did was cut that page in half and turn it sideways. So when I printed it, it was like this, and it had some stuff at the top, and I just cut it in half and trimmed it up a little bit and just stuffed it in here. The great thing about these rings, I started to stitch this together, but then I changed my mind, because the thing with the rings is you can always add to it. So again, you could add all the way up to here. It's lots of space to add on. And if I'll get to the tabs, if you had not put the tabs on it, you could have used it as a book that stands up on its own too. So that's a cute way to kind of make a calendar or something else you want that's handmade to gift it to somebody. On the back of this, again, it was white. I just added some of the embellishments to add a little something to it to make this easier. I'll put that on the bottom. Okay. So the way I did this was, some of the pages, when I showed you how I printed them, I told you which ones I was going to cut out and take apart to use as embellishments. These were built into a page that Kelly designed for us, but I took it apart and cut it, and then I just put some other embellishments on it and made a new page. I decided to add the tabs to it. At first I wasn't going to, but I really wanted to show you how these little blocks that she provided were so useful, and I just made them into tabs. So you could tab your book how you wanted to, again, using everything in the kit. Again, this is just a regular page. You can add a picture to it. You can just write on it. The next page, I used the dolls that were provided. I cut out the big one. She was right here. And then I added some embellishments on the corner and some of the word fetty. This page was already designed, and I just put the big spring at the top of it. Again, all of this, nothing that I used was not included in what Kelly provided for us, except for the rings and the board I used to make the thick covers. Other than that, everything came from the Pray Slay prayer journal. Again, the back of this was white, and I added a little something simple to it. This digital paper was provided, and this was what you voted for. It was a choice between this and the cover, and you all chose the cover, and I figured you would. But I like this blue wood, so I just used it as a page on the inside. Again, I added the tabs. Now, in the beginning of this video, you saw that I told you I printed this tab page on white sticker paper as well as cardstock. And the reason for that was because I knew I wanted to use it as a tab, and I wanted it to have some stiffness to it. So the front I laid down with the sticker paper, and then I turned it and matched the back with the cardstock to help make it kind of rigid. So that was the trick for that. Here's the scripture page, the top of the scripture page. Again, I cut it down so that it could fit in here. And so the point was to put like a picture here or some type of more word art, and then add a scripture to it. Again, you can use this as a regular journal. It could be a prayer journal, however you want to. This page was decorated. You could add pictures to it, but really was meant to write around it and write little notes. Another page, this digital paper was provided, and I just cut out some of the embellishments and added it to it and put another tab on this page. And because these are rings, the tabs could be moved around however you want to. So if this page, if you wanted it in the front, you could, and it's not a problem because it's not permanent. Again, I added some more embellishments. I used one of the girls on the back pages. A lot of the times I try to use the dolls because I think they're really cute. This page was how I think it was originally designed. Yeah, this is the page that I used to get these pieces from. So you see, I printed this page on regular 8.5 by 11 white paper, but then I printed it also on sticker paper and just cut out these little blocks so I could add a little color to pages. So that's a way to use pages in different ways. So this page, again, is just provided, but I also used it as embellishments. The back of this page is one of my favorites. I built this. It was plain white paper, and all of the pieces on here came from this kit. These little wooden hearts I got from some scraps I had left over from, I think, the page that these little blocks was on. The back of it was wooden. It looked like, let's see, I think I printed, yes. So see how this wood paper was? I printed that on sticker paper because that's where I got these boxes from, but I had a lot of scraps left over, so I just took a punch, like this punch right here, and I punched out some hearts, and I used them to add a little something to this page. And then of course the lady came with it and the little box, and then I took the inside cover and matched it with the back cover. And that's the kit and how I use it to make this little book. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. I'll try my best to answer it. And again, I still have so much left over from using this. And like I said, you can always add more pages. So you really can maybe get one started for someone and then gift it to them, and they can just add pages. And it's so simple because all you do is have to put a hole in it and put it back on the ring. So easy. Like I said before, you just take the ring off and slide it through and snap it back together again. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned because I have more videos coming. And like I said, if you have any questions, ask me below. Don't forget to like this and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.